And it seems to me that a lot of the uncertainty, especially about consumer spending, is due to the housing bubble and bursting, and much of the blame for the housing bubble can be blamed on lax regulations. There was absolutely no regulation of certain sectors of the housing market. In that case, uncertainty could have been avoided by better regulation. In the future, there is much uncertainty about the price of carbon and how to limit healthcare spending in some of these areas that were discussed today. And it seems then that the House has tried to limit uncertainty. When we've come forward with regulation, we're basically trying to limit uncertainty. And what is your opinion on that?
Well, I think if I understand you right, I agree that one can eliminate uncertainty by not regulating and sticking with it, or by establishing regulations of a certain sort and sticking with them. And I think that's absolutely right. Of course, the sort of regulation might have other effects, but in terms of the uncertainty alone, I agree that the key issue is establishing a policy that is then maintained. Mm-hmm. And so different ways to do that. Obviously, adopting the House-passed legislation in various fronts and sticking with that would be one way of reducing uncertainty. I think that's right.
Mm-hmm. Because there was some criticism of actions. It seemed it was an effort to solve problems and to create certainty. My colleague, do you have further questions?
No.
Okay. Well, I just would just like to close by thanking you very much for coming today and for reorganizing your schedule to come back after the snowstorm. And I just would like to comment that I was confused by assertions made today by some of my Republican colleagues that unspent funds be returned to the Treasury. Many of my colleagues on both the Democratic and Republican side have really spoken out very positively about how the recovery funds have provided jobs or created jobs or improved infrastructure in their districts. Your testimony today on we appreciate very much your insights on policies to promote growth and lower unemployment. We appreciate that, and I hope that your comments will help enlighten the debate in the Senate that is taking place this week as they try to move forward with a jobs creation legislation. And we'll be continuing this discussion on Friday when we'll have members of the private sector, a panel of business leaders, and other forecasters come forward. We appreciate your public service. We appreciate your being here. Thank you.